Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to pose a question to you. Who has your head? Okay? Because the person who has your head is actually controlling your feet as well. And that's why you hear that saying, get the mind and the body will follow. Get the mind and the body will follow. So your head your head is physically attached to you, but it could be psychologically into someone else's hand. And this is what is happening oftentimes when people are stuck in a toxic relationship with the narcissist. The narcissist actually has your head in their hands, and they're manipulating you like a puppet on a string. Okay? And this is happening when you're having that inner conflict and confusion about whether to leave or go. When you're having resistance about seeing the truth that's right before your eyes, when you are gaslighting yourself with a narcissist about what's going on, when you're creating that little bit of hope that maybe things will change, when you're still wanting to give a benefit of the doubt to the narcissist, when you're minimizing their behaviors and not stepping into your strength. This is giving them, they're controlling your mind at that point because they're getting you to swing your vote in their direction. Okay, you may have some confusion with it, but you're swinging it in their direction. So they're going to end up getting what they want, which is for you to remain in the situation one way or another, for you to comply and to remain and be the supply and offer the supply that they want. Even if you're complaining while you're going back to them, even if you're cursing them out while you're going back to them, even if you went no contact for a week and then went back to them. Ultimately, because they still have your head, which encompasses your mind, they're able to get you to come back. And that's the dangerous part. That's the dangerous part of us even allowing someone to be able to have that type of control over us. Okay? That is a person that is limited or, not strong enough in their self-awareness, in their self-esteem, and in their independence as well. So this does speak to someone who is exhibiting some codependency there. Because those people define themselves through their relationships, okay? And they give that more importance over the relationship they have with themselves. That's the one relationship, because we do have a relationship with ourselves. But that is the one relationship that the codependent does not mind, does not tend to, and that pushes at the bottom of the list or doesn't even have it on a list at all in the worst case scenario. And this is why self-esteem and independence is so important. Because when you have those things, you will have the confidence to be your own person. And you'll be comfortable in your own skin. And you'll be okay with solitude. So that when somebody does come and bring this negative energy into your life, you can say, you know what? I was hoping for something better, but this isn't what I want for my life. I can release this into the universe. I can let this go and create space for something that will serve me, for something that I do want to have in my life. I have that confidence and I'm okay, and I can have the patience to wait for my time, to wait for the person that's for me. Okay, otherwise what we do is we create a lot of emotional baggage that we're going to have to eventually unpack and sort through and heal before the universe will reward us with that person. So inevitably, we're causing more time in between it. We're actually in our own ways of getting what we actually want at that point. because we won't let go. And because we've given our power away to somebody else. And honestly, this can go outside of narcissistic abuse. This can go outside of narcissistic abuse. All right. So, there's nothing wrong with being under a leadership. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that you're not an individual if you're just simply under a leadership, but it depends on what kind of leadership is that. And what does it invade or impose on you? If it's taking, your right to have your own mind, to be on your authentic path, then that's an issue. So be mindful in life, period, about who has your head. Who has your head? Because they're controlling your feet. That's where your feet is going. Where your head is, that's where your feet is going to end up taking you. Okay? And we want to move forward in our lives. We want to progress. We want to elevate. We want to grow, right? We can't do it if we're not willing to step into our strength and be authentic and get on our purpose and get into our paths. If somebody else is trying to play their agenda in our life, if somebody else is controlling our minds and being allowed to intercept us in that way, that's going to cause an issue one way or another. Either it'll be like that the snowball going down a mountain and it just gets bigger and bigger. We have to intercept these things, guys, all right? So let's take our minds back. But that's going to come with getting reconnected with ourselves and standing in our strength and having the confidence to be ourselves to begin with. Unapologetically. This channel is primarily adults. And as an adult, you don't owe people explanations for everything that you do in your life. You just don't. There may be some people that you may have some accountability towards, like a life partner, like a spouse. And even in that situation, for those of you who have married a narcissist, they're not even really your spouse in the spirit, just on paper. So, just be mindful about that. Be mindful about that. Because you can be mentally enslaved. You can. And once someone has you like that, it's way more powerful than them trying to come at you in a physical manner. Because if I can get you to willingly stay behind bars, willingly lock yourself in a cage, how much easier is that for me physically? I don't have to exert myself physically arresting you. You're just willingly putting the handcuffs on yourself like a robot, falling in line. And, that's how people get cheated out of their destinies. That's how they're not fulfilling their purposes in life. So you have to get a certain kind of confidence and understand how life works. Don't be so caught up in what this one thinks, what that one has to say. Someone's always going to have something to say. Someone's always going to have something to say. I know that firsthand. People make hours of videos. They take energy out of their life to bash me every day of their life. They don't even know me. Never had a word with me. Never even had a reply from me. But they put hate videos out every day. Like, people do this. You know, they're being used. Their vessels are being used to spread hate and darkness. And some people will accept that in their life. And that's the risk you take when you give your mind and your power to somebody else. They can use you, you know, i.e. like the flying monkeys. They're manipulating you and using you for their dirty deeds and their darkness. Then you're a part of it. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, you become a part of it. And it's the saddest when it's unknowingly. At least the people that are knowingly doing it, they want to be doing that. The unknowingly person, maybe even ignorant to the part that they're playing and being a part of the darkness. But anytime the narcissist is keeping you off your purpose, keeping you away from your destiny, being that energy vampire, instilling your light from you, that's not a good thing. It's just not. And it's taken from you. And it's making you become a part of their team. Now, it could be temporary, of course. But you have to be brave enough and willing to step into your strength. And I say this all the time about stepping into your strength and letting go of lower level vibrational concerns. This one isn't going to like me anymore. This one's going to get mad at me. This one doesn't understand. You understand. You know what you have to do for you. This is lower vibrational thinking. And too many survivors get caught up in that because that's a part of people pleasing and wanting to be accepted. And ultimately, a lot of survivors, they get into a place where they just want the narcissist to finally love them. They want the narcissist to finally acknowledge them. This is what they're fighting for. And they're giving their precious energy to do that. And inadvertently, they're playing right out of the narcissist's hand because this is what they want. They want you to be chasing them through the whole relationship for something that they're never going to give you anyway. And then by the time you realize it, they've kept you in this cycle of abuse for how many years of your life? And keeping you away from your purpose and your destiny and your blessings. Okay? But I don't want this to just be all negative because guess what I've discovered? Even if you have been in that relationship for quite some time, once you do decide to be brave, you can get it all. You can get a lot of things back. You can't get your time back. All right. Time is just something you can never get back. And that's why you need to take a message like this serious. You don't want to give them any more time. And a lot of survivors give them more time because they gave them a lot of time. And that's like a backwards perception that needs to be flipped. Because you gave them 5 years, because you gave them 8 years, that's why you don't need to give them more. But the more we invest in something, the more we don't want to let go of it, even when we're seeing that it's detrimental to us. And that's a problem because now you're not cutting your losses, you're adding to them. And you're digging a deeper hole. You're going to have to climb out of it eventually, or you're going to be buried. And I don't want that for any of you. So you got to get your mind back. You got to get your head back because they're controlling your feet when they have your mind in your head. And like I said, this is beyond narcissistic abuse, this message. You know, we could think about the media. We can think about these celebrities that we put on pedestals, government. We could think about family members. We could think about jobs. Who has your head? We can think about things because we have addiction to things, substances, and it's controlling your feet. That drug addict is just trying to get back to the drugs. It's in its mind, has its head. And that's what the feet is searching for all day, the next high. Okay? So let's get serious about this. You know, life is precious. Life is precious. We don't have forever. And we all have a destination. Okay? We all have the highest level of existence that our ancestors want for us, that our God wants for us. Okay? Let's challenge ourselves to be able to meet that destiny. So when we're taking our last breath and we're transcending out of the 3D, okay, that, you know, we can smile about that because we left it here on earth. We did what we were brought here to do. You know, this is way beyond just letting go of a toxic person that's dead weight in your life and holding you down. It's a way bigger picture than that. How many more lives could you have touched, helped, you know, when you weren't stuck in that toxic situation? All right, you guys are getting the information. If you're on my channel, you're getting the information. You are getting it. You just have to accept it. You know, you're not ignorant anymore once the information is given to you. It's a choice at that point. It's a choice. So let's make the right choices. Life is full of them. All right? All right, guys. Until next time, please take care.